February the 15th, 2014. Guys, this is the magnetopause. Looking at today's charts, now we started getting pressure yesterday on the 14th. That's when we had the quake in South Carolina on the first peak. Remember, there was a double dip there. So it compressed, expanded, released, and expanded. And those release points are very deep release points. In other words, a reverse cycle. So you have almost as much effect on the release as the crust again expands and then compresses again. Notice here, you're on the 15th, you're starting getting the double banding. We're not out of the woods yet. We have reached right into probably the peak of it here, but it's a 27-hour event, and I'll show you that, which actually moves it over into the 16th. But I'm looking at the compression and release events. So into the 16th, you're going to have more density, a little higher solar wind speed, things like that. And we're looking at the points. Again, that's a strong double wave in the front. You see that the first one's totally compressed. Now here at 1521 UT, you see strong, both waves have combined there. That's a lot of pressure on the Earth. Again, if you're looking at UTC, take about 6 hours off that, and you're going to be close to your central time. Here, notice you got 3 red bars. The first one that came in that got South Carolina was a 16-hour duration event. There's your timing again, back off your 6 hours to compensate for UTC time, guys. Here now, the second one is a 27-hour event. Notice that they're plus or minus 6 hours on the arrival time confidence. They were pretty accurate on this one. It was not moving that fast. Again, 27 hours. So notice in the red box below this that it moves over into February the 16th. So that's just kind of until it peels back off and goes back to normal. That's what we're looking at. Now, the reason I watch these, the sun has so much effect on the Earth, guys, and depends on what's going on. If you may be dealing with a solar reverse as far as flipping the poles, or you may be dealing with a comet coming around and changing the magnetics, which affects gravity. But not only that, and causing extreme solar flares and pressure on the Earth that can actually shift the Earth as it goes around like a top called the polar drift. And it can change that, and it happened with ISON. And since that point, that happened on December 28th. And for about 2 days before and 2 days afterward, there's extreme pressure on the Earth's magnetopause because of the electrical reaction between the sun and ISON. And I'm going to show you some of that. But guys, I'm watching this filament on the bottom right. It's actually 4 twisters. You see that? But it's going to cause that filament to release more than likely. Now, one of the things here is you notice that we're going to have a quiet period. Look on the left side there. Here's what we got. Beta, gamma, delta, 1974, still capable X flares. But the one trailing 1977 is beta gamma, not quite. 15% chance of X flares, 75% of M flares. Again, to the left of this disk, we may have a pause, a brief quiet period. Wouldn't hurt with the volcanoes in the shape they are now in the crust of the Earth. But if you notice, 1977, which is the last one in the line, you got 3 dots there. The last one that is beta gamma, notice the blue and the red areas, that could change. Now that's the big one there that is X flare capable. As you come around, but this one, that's Earth facing, and it's getting a little stronger, so we may have to watch it going triple magnetic fields. Pull this over and take a look at it close up. Again, those are the ones. That's the center area we'll be watching. Now notice here on the solar wind prediction, last night on the 14th, I said around 9. I think it was about 9:15 when they started reporting it. And then on the 15th, we had that second peak. But notice how it dips much lower than where it came in, guys. See the average to the left and to the right. That's telling you that expansion can do as much plate movement as the compression. Now this is the last, this is where the charts are ending as I was doing the video. Notice on the 14th we had a big dip as it released. Now we're in that release point. You see that? So those are the two events. Right there's your first release, the second one. Now listen, cruise ship passengers died after 80-mile-an-hour winds lashed southern Britain and whipped up freak waves in the English Channel. Said a rescue team is also searching for two hills. Now, since December the 1st, the weather's been changing, especially in Britain. They've really been catching the brunt of it because of where they're at. But this is today's news. A cruise ship passengers died after 80-mile-an-hour winds lashed southern Britain and whipped up freak waves in the English Channel. 85-year-old man was on the 22,000-ton Marco Polo when water crashed through a window, injuring a number of people. He was airlifted off the vessel along with a woman in her 70s, but he later died. Rescue team is searching for two heel walkers missing on Ben Nevis in Scotland. It says up to 30 people are trapped, listen to this, at the Marine Cafe in Milford-on-Sea, in Hampshire. Now, where rough seas have reportedly hurled rocks through windows. The Environmental Agency and emergency services have battled to cope with the latest installment of the worst winter storms in living memory. Michael has been telling us about these straight-line winds. Now, look at Wales. Natural resources. Wales will not now focus on the second part of the review. This is a thing they're putting together. This second phase will look at what can be done differently in the future to improve Wales' resilience to storms of this kind. Work began yesterday to clear up the damage from Wednesday's storm that saw gusts up to 108 miles an hour in Wales. That's what he was talking about. Started talking about it too, guys. You notice right after ISON, we were talking about this, and he called it on Paul Begley's show. So, Michael, thank you for the heads up, and I hope we have many more. But, guys, there's, when you look, again, here's the polar drift chart. Check this out. Now, you've got two yellow arrows coming up from the bottom. In August 2013, on the right was where the top of the Earth was. Now, it's like a top spinning, and the point at the top rotates around. August 2013 on the right. Now, notice how close to the edge of the chart it was from the center red square. Now, let's come over to January 16th, latest update on the 24th. See the last yellow dot? Notice the difference between the outside edges. You see that? Now look up where, when ISON came around the sun, you see that there was a shift between the 1st of November at the very top. Then it comes to the next dot, which is the December 9th. That's when ISON was affecting, and all those was coming around, and all the solar flares were blasting. Now put this blue circle in your mind. See how it was pushed away from the sun, guys? The Earth is pushed further away. Now, I want to go back and let's go back a few days, about 4 days to the report before this one, and it kind of gives you a clearer time to where exactly ISON came around. It was showing that November 30th was the shift date on this. But guys, again, look at the difference. Now, here's your, from the left to the right. On the left side, it should be about the same distance. Now, you're going to see variances. Now, let's go back to the 12th here. See it at the top, November 30th. The line drops straight down, and the Earth is bent and pulled and twisted and tried to right itself back into that circle. This is the 27th up through the 30th. Just as I said, ISON's coming in here. Check this out. And we were going to have CMEs. That was my main concern, solar flares, large flares, and it could affect the compression and the quakes on Earth. Talked about this. Again, there was a lot of comments about nothing we talked about of ISON came about. But again, everything did. We had the coronal mass ejections as it came in. I said it would be a miracle if it survived perihelion in one piece. You notice that? Then we started having our fireball reports pick up. Now, guys, we've got this another comet, linear, coming in. Look at a couple of videos going back and look at how close that thing's going to be and how wide the debris field will be. If you'll notice that chart, we start into that debris field and stay in there for about 30 hours. And it looks thick in the center, guys. So this is a heads up. Be safe.